What's a common first date activity that people do that's actually really stupid to do for a first date? Loud bar. My first date with my husband. Blind date. We talked on the phone once. I didn't even know what he looked like. Was to the symphony. It was an hour away and then there was the symphony with a full intermission worth of potential awkwardness. Then a full hour drive back. I mean, clearly the date went amazing. We went to ice cream afterwards and sat in his car talking until 3 in the morning. But I never thought about it until right now how potentially disastrous that evening could have been if we hadn't had major chemistry. A long-ish car ride. I invited a first date to a great restaurant. Fun environment too. But didn't think about the fact that it was about a 30-plus minute drive each way. Kind of an awkward trip to and from. Especially when it turned out that we really didn't have much in common. The trip back took a long time. An expensive dinner. Escape rooms. I work at one and the amount of first dates doing our rooms is too dang high. 1. There aren't enough people to even play. If you show up with 2, we make you pay for a third ticket minimum. 2. You can't learn anything about each other because you're too busy playing. 3. You will suck and you will get frustrated. Not a good look on a first date. Movie. Because your attention is not directed towards your date. Loud bar is worse. Quiet bar is best. Drinks to loosen the tongue and cozy atmosphere to reveal oneself. Plus, it's public enough that you can count on reasonably good behavior. Going to a movie. Just staring at a screen instead of getting to know each other. In John Waters' memoir he talks about going to these fright and fight double features where they would show a horror movie then a kung fu movie back to back. And I can't imagine how many poor women were taken to these to be subjected to not 1 but 2 bad movies in a row, only for the guy she's with to get in a fight in the parking lot afterwards trying to impress her. If you're asking out someone you haven't spent more than 5 minutes with, I feel like dinner or even lunch is a terrible idea. Once you've ordered, you're kind of committed to a minimum of 45 minutes with them. You might find 5 minutes in that they're a complete asshat. At least a coffee is short enough that you can finish and part ways. Or if you're having fun then you can suggest that you're hungry and could go for an early dinner. Visit with anybody. Friends. Parents. Neighbors. It's insane to be around people who know the person you are dating well. And not you at all. It's like a job interview in front of a panel. No fun at all. I took a girl to a first date at a wine and canvas thing. We both liked to draw and paint and had similar tastes in drinks. Lots to talk about and activity to occupy us if there was a lull in the conversation. Great idea. If only I had considered the fact that when I draw, paint I pretty much shut everything else out and just draw, paint. Poor girl spent 3 hours with me as I grunted out responses. Had a scotch and painted something that I still use as a holiday decoration to this day. We did not have a second date. Don't take people to a wine and canvas event if you turn into a monosyllabic boozy artist. Hiking. I've done it several times and every time I think wow it would be so easy to murder me and also I'm winded AF. My first date my now BF was a literal hike up a mountain and I'm glad it worked out. We had some awesome conversations getting to know each other, but when we got to the top I remember telling him, it would be so easy for you to murder me right now. He was a little offended by the comment, BC not the murderous type, but thought it was a fair and funny point. I think getting ice cream is a great first date. Here's why. It's cheap. It makes you feel like a kid again, so it's fun. And it is short. If the date isn't working, you can leave quickly without shelling out a ton of cash. My first date with my wife was ice cream, so it worked for us. I know a lot of people will disagree with me here, but I don't like coffee dates. Meeting at a coffee shop always feels job interviewy to me. I've never once felt that spark or romantic connection at coffee shop for a date. I agree with all the movies, but I'm putting my vote for restaurant. Especially a blind date. As restaurant staff. Bussa. I've seen a date go absolutely horrible. It was a blind date and she was a friend of the manager's and was super excited for her date. He was at least 30 minutes late. And turned out he had catfished her. She got food to go and left in a rush. I don't blame her. They were there 30 minutes max. I saw one go really well, but they got consumed in their conversation and was there an hour after. Closing. Bill on table. Chairs on table. Us loudly hinting at wanting to go home. Nope. Hour past closing. Only bonus is that you get to see how respectful your date is towards people working in the service industry. Which is bare minimum. Anyways. There's my 2 cents. Bowling. It's not actually as fun as folks think it will be. If there's only 2 of you, you're just taking turns to get up and play. So you're never both sat down for long enough together to have a decent conversation. It also goes quite fast without more players. Plus the shoes are always clownish AF.